When the unthinkable happens, and a beloved pet loses its owner, what do you do? Imagine a golden retriever, once full of life, now only waiting for footsteps that will never come. How far will a family go to help their grieving dog? The shocking truth will leave you speechless. Before we start, make sure to hit like and subscribe. And really, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. The house felt different, now quieter, heavier, as if even the walls were grieving. Ever since the sudden loss of his owner, Bailey, the family's golden retriever, had barely moved from his spot by the front door. His once bright eyes now stared endlessly at the driveway, waiting for footsteps that would never return. The bowl of food placed beside him each morning remained untouched, even as hours passed. Every time a car rolled by or a distant door closed, Bailey's ears perked up with a flicker of hope, only for his head to drop again when he realized it wasn't the sound he was waiting for. The family tried coaxing him with treats, belly rubs, and soft words, but he didn't seem to hear any of it. His tail, once always wagging, lay still on the floor. It was as if the moment his owner left, a piece of Bailey went with him, leaving behind only silence and unbearable longing. The family's worry deepened as Bailey grew weaker, so they rushed him to the vet, hoping for answers. The clinic smelled of antiseptic and soft humming machines, but Bailey barely reacted. He simply rested his head on the cold metal table, his eyes dull and distant. Dr. Harris gently examined him, running blood tests, checking his heartbeat, and searching for infections or hidden injuries. Physically, he seems fine, the vet whispered, puzzled. But emotionally, he's shutting down. The family watched anxiously as Bailey ignored treats, toys, and even the vet's comforting strokes. They tried everything. Dr. Harris suggested nutrient-rich meals, appetite stimulants, calming supplements, but nothing touched the hollow ache in Bailey's chest. They even scheduled sessions with a canine behavior specialist, hoping therapy might spark a change. Yet Bailey only stared at the door during every visit. In desperation, the family introduced a lively puppy, hoping Bailey might respond. Instead, Bailey simply turned away, refusing even a glance. With each passing day, his ribs became more visible, his movements slower, every solution failed. And the family realized they weren't just fighting illness, they were fighting heartbreak. Days turned into weeks, and Bailey's decline became impossible to ignore. His fur, once gleaming like sunlight, now looked dull, and his steps grew unsteady, as if grief had seeped into his bones. The family refused to give up. They tried everything: lavender-scented diffusers, soothing music, and even special toys designed to comfort anxious dogs. Still, Bailey remained trapped in a world of loss. They joined an online dog grief support group, sharing their fears with strangers who have fought similar battles. Some offered remedies, others shared stories, but none of it seemed to reach Bailey. Each night, the family sat beside him, telling him he wasn't alone. But his empty eyes told a different story. Memories of happier days haunted the house, Bailey and his owner playing fetch at the park. The two of them curled up by the fireplace, sharing silent companionship. Those memories were beautiful, but now they only deepened the family's ache. They began to fear the unthinkable. What if Bailey's heart was breaking beyond repair? One afternoon, while cleaning out some old boxes in the attic, the family stumbled upon something unexpected. Beneath a pile of dusty books and forgotten mementos, they found a small envelope addressed to Bailey. It was an odd thing, something the family hadn't noticed before. Tucked away among the owner's personal belongings, with trembling hands, they opened the letter. It was handwritten, the words faint with age, but unmistakable. The letter wasn't addressed to them. It was a final message from Bailey's owner, written long before his death, yet somehow it felt timeless. Bailey, the letter began, I know that someday we will have to say goodbye. I want you to know that I'll always be with you. Even when I'm gone, you will be okay. Remember the things we loved doing together, and know that I will never truly leave you. The family couldn't believe what they were reading. The letter spoke of a deep understanding of what Bailey might face one day. It was as if his owner had known this moment would come, and had prepared for it. The family gathered around the kitchen table, the letter placed gently between them. On the back of the page, almost like a quiet whisper from the past, Bailey's owner had written a short list titled, If He Ever Loses Me. It wasn't a cure in a medical sense, more like a map of emotional footprints, things only Bailey would recognize. The list mentioned a specific lullaby the owner used to hum when Bailey was a frightened pup. It mentioned a certain cologne he always wore on morning walks. It even described a routine they'd shared, sitting on the old porch at sunset, watching the sky change colors together. Skeptical but desperate, the family decided to recreate every detail. They turned on the old radio, letting the soft melody drift through the house. They sprayed a faint mist of the owner's cologne on Bailey's favorite blanket. Then, at sunset, they carried Bailey to the porch and sat quietly just as the list instructed. At first, Bailey didn't react. His head hung low, breath slow and heavy. But then, barely noticeable, his nose twitched. His ears lifted a fraction. His tail moved just once. It was small, but it was something. The family continued following the steps outlined in the letter, day after day. They carefully recreated every moment, no matter how small or strange it seemed. At first, there were only tiny signs. Bailey's eyes would brighten when they played the owner's favorite song, or he'd stand up to sniff the cologne-sprayed blanket. But something was still missing, something they couldn't quite put their fingers on. Then, one evening, as the sun began to set, something extraordinary happened. Bailey stood up and padded over to the corner of the porch where his owner used to sit. He sniffed around the area, his nose working diligently as if he were searching for something. The family watched in silence, unsure of what would happen next. Without warning, Bailey pushed aside a loose floorboard with his paw, revealing something beneath. The family gasped when they saw what it was: an old, worn-out tennis ball, the very one Bailey had played with as a puppy. The ball had been hidden there, tucked away by the owner in his final days. A secret gift meant for Bailey, waiting to be found when the time was right. It was as if the owner had knew that Bailey would need this small, familiar thing to help him heal. The family was left speechless. The truth was clear now. The owner had prepared for this moment, understanding the depth of the dog's grief even in his final days. With the discovery of the hidden ball, everything began to change. Bailey, now gently nudging the ball with his nose, seemed to find a renewed sense of purpose. The weight of his grief didn't vanish overnight, but there was a noticeable shift. His tail, once still, began to wag again, slowly at first, then with more confidence. The family couldn't believe it. Every evening, they repeated the steps in the letter. They sang the lullaby, sat on the porch, and let the scent of the cologne fill the air. And each time, Bailey seemed more at peace. He ate again, and his eyes, once so full of sorrow, began to gleam with life once more. The family felt a bittersweet relief. They still missed their loved one, but they now understood the love that had transcended even death. It was as if the owner had never truly left. He had simply prepared Bailey and them for the hardest part of all, learning to move forward. Bailey wasn't fully healed. His heart would always carry the mark of loss. But with each passing day, the dog found joy again. The family's bond, too, grew stronger, having discovered a final, extraordinary message that not only saved their dog but gave them the courage to heal as well. As they watched Bailey play with his old ball, they whispered quietly, "Thank you for everything. Thank you for watching this heartwarming story." If you were moved by Bailey's journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more unbelievable tales. See you next time.